There is a house of kayfabe that Stephen P. New built himself. Guys, gals, non-binary pals, welcome to the house of kayfabe. I'm Matt Mullins. I've got Adam Harris. I've got Stephen P. New himself, and we've got a treat for you. We're talking cards. What card you got?
Yes, we are. I'm late to the card game, but I tell you what, I have heard these two guys and our resident missing House of Kayfabe owner, Derek Jones, talk about cards for a couple of years now. And it just so happened that through the pandemic and right after, I was able to get my hands on a really great set, a really great collection of a bunch of different sets of cards. So tonight I've got something kind of special, two special collections that I want to go over. And with you guys being the more experienced card collectors, I thought that you could tell our viewers some of the significance of what we're seeing. And also for the viewers, we're going to be talking about where they can buy some of these blister packs, hanger packs, and where they can buy one of what they're going to see right here at the top of the show. So you guys ready to get started?
I'm excited.
All right. So what I'm holding right here, ladies and gentlemen, is a box of recently unsealed, or a case, as it's called online, of the Classic Games Inc. 1991 WWF hanger packs. And so for WrestleCade, I opened these up, and we're going to see what we can get into tonight in these hanger packs. And they're a beautiful set. And just so if anybody wants to know what we're talking about, right there is what we're talking about.
Very cool. Very cool.
And that's a $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase card. So let's go ahead and see what some of the packs are. That's a Jimmy.
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
Yeah. That's a Jimmy Hart.
So there's a lot of cool cards in this set. I think this set is one of the better photography sets.
Yes.
Mostly action shots. I'm not sure if we're going to see any Steve Jordan photography in these or not. Well, these might be Steve Jordan photography shots, but I should say, I don't know if I think there's studio shots in these as well. Because you might have mentioned this, Steve, 91 is the Undertaker rookie year. And that's what a lot of people look for when they're opening some packs of these, are going to be some of those cool Undertakers, which there are cool studio shots, and then also some really cool action shots of the Undertaker as well.
I'm pretty sure. Isn't this too the set that has some of the covers of the WWF magazine, like Hogan with the flag draped? Isn't that in this set?
That I think that
would
is
be right at
image.
about the right time, because they've changed the Iron Sheik's name to General Adnan at this time. So
He's
well,
still
guys,
Well, he was
without-
Colonel Mustafa, right? And then
Mustafa.
the other one was and the other one was Colonel Adnan.
General Adnan.
Yeah.
We'll get to Sheiky Baby in just a moment. But guys, feast your eyes.
Wow.
Ooh.
Is that it?
So
right here on the
that's
front?
an Undertaker, and we're going to pop the blister. We're going to see.
Do you guys remember seeing these in stores at all? I don't really. I don't remember. I was just starting to watch wrestling around 91. So I had some of the classic WWF classic cards of 90. I don't even really remember how I came by them. Do you guys remember seeing these on the shelves?
I feel like that this is like on an end cap. That's like they had the hangers right at the end cap, and I can visually see them. We had a family toy warehouse in Beckley.
Oh, yeah.
That was had a really cool wrestling section. So I feel like that I was in that time if I hop in my time machine, I can see them.
I bet these would have been available at Hills too. Most likely. I feel like a lot of WWF merchandise was available at Hills at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you show the box already, Steve? The box of these that you have?
Yes, that's what folks online are calling a case, where you get 36 hanger packs with 25 cards in each. So this is where I want to need some assistance from you guys to tell me whether I'm onto something here or not. All right.
All right.
So this is an Undertaker. It's card number 106 in the set.
Okay. So this is a 150 set card. There's several cards of the Undertaker in here. Some people might like to think, I guess the first one in the set might be considered the true rookie, so to speak, although I don't like to use that language. Because
card number 64 is what we're looking for.
Well, I think there's an earlier one that actually is
number 30. 30.
Yeah, there we go. 30.
All right.
That's the other one.
Now, what I think is neat about these cards, and Taker says he won't sign this stuff.
Yeah,
now,
and it's got a little slot there for it.
For an autograph on the back.
That's a great point, Steve.
Here is a Macho King.
Nice.
Randy Savage. And that beautiful flying elbow. I did not realize that WWE had trademarked Macho King, but it makes sense.
It's got the TM on the back there.
Yep.
Now, it's interesting. I guess some of the 90s set probably had Macho King as well. It would be cool to go back and see and compare cards that were Macho Man versus Macho King. Because it would have been a short-lived era.
Right. Here is a Hulk Hogan number 35.
All right. Okay. Good one. Good pose. Yep. Good pose.
I'd like to point out, too, that these classic cards, I was a big basketball guy growing up, and these classic cards were also the Shaq rookie was in the classic series card, I think of the same year. And they had
that's something I didn't pick up on, is that a lot of the tops and stuff, like the wrestling cards look just like the baseball editions do, for certain years, like Topps Chrome and stuff. It all looks like the other sports. I shouldn't say the real sports, like the conventional
Bite your tongue, Adam Harris.
Yeah, exactly.
So any lead on the Hulk Hogan number 35 there? And
let's see.
Well, Hulk is number one, of course, in the whole set.
Sure.
So, but as I think we talked about at WrestleCade a little bit, Steve, just about any Hulk card, the earlier the better, but any Hulk Hogan card graded, I think will retain a certain amount of value if it gets a good grade. Anything, of course, 10, but even some 9s and stuff. I guess the more recent the card is, the less a 9 is going to be desirable. But also, like if there's a 9 out there, that's going to be an affordable option for like a value collector, I think. Like you may not have to have all 10s, but if you're looking to get a nice 9 or an 8 of a Hulk Hogan card, it would be cool to have that option.
Right.
I think that card itself, ungraded, is looking around $10, but graded is looking at about 50. So
with a good grade.
With a good grade.
One of my favorite wrestlers.
Oh,
the model.
You got to send that one to Matt.
Yeah.
Matt's the resident with the biggest Rick Martel shelf in the collection.
Rick Martel, fun fact, Rick Martel is the only wrestling superstar to have a Remco AWA figure, a WWF LJN figure, and a WWF Hasbro figure. And I think that's a pretty damn good fact. And I like that.
And he remains one of the hardest autographs to get.
WCW late 90s. Any figures from then?
No, he missed. There's a big gap that they really missed, I feel like, with some WCW figures. I'm excited to see the Major Pod Boys. They're doing their recap of the WCW original San Francisco Toy Makers full line. So on Christmas Day, so I want to
it's gonna be
what
exciting.
info.
Now,
Oh,
Take
there
a
we
look
go.
at that one.
Yeah. With the
Number
movie,
3 in the set.
movie coming out too.
Movie
Yep.
coming out, and I think probably tells you where Vince thought Kerry was in 1991.
Yeah.
Loved Kerry Von Erich.
Definitely. And I'm thinking that's got to be one of his earlier cards. I can't remember if he's in the 90s set list or not. I don't think so, though. So that could be a good one.
Hated the text. I hated the fact that his name, and it's trademarked here, Texas Tornado.
Right.
And he had that silly spinning gimmick. But boy, I had just remembered seeing him beat Ric Flair for the title at the David Von Erich Memorial. Let's take a look at a few more of these.
Ooh, here's an 8 of that card you just showed, a PSA 8, sold recently for $31.95. $30 on that one.
All right.
Is Kerry Von Erich in the 82 All-Stars? He is, right, Matt?
He is.
So yeah, that would have been that. I guess that would have been the true rookie, but there's some early Texas Tornado cards in this set.
I don't think he is in that 82s, is he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is. It's one of the yellow ones.
Okay.
All right. I'll go through and show the viewers some more without comment or grading. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Use the restroom.
Mouth of the South. Jimmy Hart. Hacksaw.
Oh.
The Mountie.
You can't see it. I'm trying to show you the 82 Kerry Von Erich. The Mountie was just at WrestleK. That's what I was going to say earlier about these cards. Like, especially with so many of these legends still out doing there are some great cards that you could get signed in this set.
Yeah.
This would be a really good way to get a cool, cheap card that's not going to set you back a bunch, but you might be able to Haku. You can get a Haku signature on that. The Barbarian
Haku comes to Madison, West Virginia.
That's right, man. And Jimmy Hart, like that one you had earlier, that would look so cool with a signature on it. Just great photography.
The Bush one.
There we go. Nice.
Luke's still wrestling.
Heck yeah. And was just on the Tales from the Territories, talking about which territory. There he is. Slick.
Yes.
The job sold, bro. Jinx.
Earthquake.
Man.
Tenta.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's some tugboat cards in here too. That would be another good one to get signed. Oh, that's cool. That's a good card.
And another Davy.
Like consistent photography in this, I think.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Is like some of these sets have great photography, but maybe not throughout the whole set.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's
one of Barb.
Oh, check that out. Yeah, there's one of the good studio shots like I was talking about.
That's a good studio shot right there of Barb. And like Adam was saying, you could still get that signed. Barb's around all the time, still wrestling, still in great shape, still looks like $1 million. Action shot of Road Warrior Hulk.
Well, dropping the big fist.
Roddy.
There's some good pipers in this set too. Yeah, that's a good one.
And let's see. We started out with the $1 Million Man, and here.
Oh, baby.
Ooh, nice.
Before the turn, the Rockers.
Very nice.
A lot of people don't remember that they feuded with the Rock and Roll in AWA in the late 80s, about 88 or 89.
Wow. Man, the Rock and Roll, and I know we just had Kerry Morton on the podcast that we had at WrestleK, and hopefully you all will be able to see that soon. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of stuff. Nerd Mark's marking out over here on the House of K channel. It's what we do best. And I hope you'll check out that interview. But, somebody in the audience, and good for them, asked Ricky Morton about the Rock and Roll work in the British Bulldogs. And there's a great video, and I think it's on YouTube. Those guys have a great match that was promoted, I think, through the AWA. Rock and Roll wrestled everybody, like you were just saying. They wrestled the Rockers.
They wrestled
before
the
they went
Rockers.
to WWE.
Of course, and of course, before they went to the WWF, they were called the Midnight
Rockers, right?
In the AWA. So
wow.
Well, let's see what else we've got here, guys, and we'll open up some more of these packs. I love these cards, and after this, some of these blister packs which haven't been opened going for about 35, 40 bucks on eBay. It will be available on my eBay. There's a Hulk Hogan number 91.
I'm trying to see if there's any of these DiBiase's that have. Oh yeah, there's a Sensational Sherry in here. If you pull that, I want it. Sensational Queen Sherry.
All right.
You pull any Sherry, I want those for my collection.
There's another LOD. Another couple of Duggans. Oh, tell me that isn't
scary.
Tell me that isn't a beautiful card of the Doomsday Device.
Awesome. See, even some of my favorite card sets, like the NWA Wonderamas, they have so many cards in the set that the action shots aren't necessarily great. And I feel like that all these cards, although not as valuable, all the shots are pretty awesome.
Yeah, aesthetically, I like these generally.
Oh, look at that. The powder blue WWF.
Ooh, a lot of feels.
I know what I'm asking for Christmas now.
That jacket?
That jacket.
You need that jacket, Steve, for the commissioner's corner every time you come out at ASW.
That's right. A nice action shot.
All right, okay, little monkey flip action.
Yeah.
I wonder if when they were building this set, be like, okay, we have 3 with both rockers, we have 3 with Shawn Michaels, and 3 with Marty Jannetty.
That's a nice Haku there.
I wouldn't want to take that kick.
No. Hulk Hogan taking the lumber to looks like Dino Bravo.
Yeah, Dino himself.
And if Steve Barker or the other Steve were on here, he would talk immediately about how Hulk Hogan was actually a heel, did nothing but cheat the entire time, and Bobby Heenan was the baby face who was trying to get us all to realize that Hogan was cheating the whole time.
Another carry. Piper, Barb. I don't remember this feud, guys. $1 Million Man versus, I guess the Big Boss Man had made his face turn by then.
That's right. Yeah. I think he may have had the Boss Man for security or was he in the after the Twin Towers, I guess. There he is. Tugboat. He was another guy who's out signing, you can catch that guy
was
around.
Down there this weekend. He's embraced his Shockmaster gimmick.
He's really sweet. I saw him be really sweet to a lot of people.
Yeah. There's a great card that he signs these days that has all 3 signatures, and so he'll sign it, Typhoon, Tugboat, Shockmaster, which is cool. I mean, what a cool card. What a great idea.
All right. Here's another General Adnan.
Oh, there he is.
Iron Sheik.
And was Sheik Al-Qasi or something like that in AWA? Is that what it was?
No, different guy. I mean, this is the Iron Sheik.
No, Iron Sheik was Mustafa.
Colonel Adnan was actually in AWA because he has a figure. He has a ring.
Yeah, there you go. Colonel Adnan was hold on, let me pull it up here.
Yeah, my apologies. Is this Adnan KC?
KC, yep, that's him. That's who it is. Yep, for sure.
Adnan Al-KC.
Yes.
From the AWA.
Yep.
Favorite quote, untranslatable because it's in Arabic. As if you couldn't translate an Arabic favorite quote into English.
They didn't even bother. They're like, just not going to put it on there.
Can't do it.
We haven't been touching on the back of these cards, which is sometimes the most entertaining part when you think of how deep the kayfabe is on these. And
where's the quote from? Parts unknown.
Let me see. Here I always. This is the Taker 106.
There we go.
Tugboat.
That's one you see a lot. People are after that one.
That's the Hogan 91. I mean, the number 91 in the set.
That one's not as great. I mean, you can see what he's going on there, but
now
not a great film.
I really like and
Power and Glory. See it.
Power and Glory.
Yeah, baby. And some good tag teams in this era.
Loves him some Hercules Hernandez. They went up and down the road a lot. He gets a little verklempt anytime that he's talking about
he was a brute.
Hercules Hernandez.
He has an LJN.
What's that, Matt?
He has an LJN too.
I knew that's what you were going to say.
All right. Hey, look out of just
man.
Curiosity. Can you look that one up for me?
What's the number?
Nasty Boys number 57.
Yeah, let's do it.
This, ladies and gentlemen, would be Gary Damron's favorite tag team of all time.
Itching to work with the Nasty Boys again. I'm sorry, say the number of card it is again.
51.
51, thank you.
57.
57.
57.
We're not under any time restraints, so we don't have to hustle through it anymore. We've got it worked out. So
here's a PSA 9 listed for $74. Listed for $74. PSA 9.
Of the Nasty Boys.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably their most valuable card of all time.
It's gotta be.
There's a Mr. Perfect.
Might be their first card, actually, I guess.
Can't you just see Perfect chewing gum and swatting it into the crowd?
Man.
Oh, man. It's one of my favorites of all time. Him with that towel around his neck.
Yeah. And you guys
knock it into the crowd.
On this show right here, October 1st, 1991, Huntington, West Virginia.
Nice.
Top of the card, Sid Justice versus Jake the Snake Roberts. Roddy Piper versus Ric Flair. Legion of Doom versus the Natural Disasters. And Perfect was on that card because not only was that a WWF house show, they taped, I swear, I felt like I was in the Huntington Civic Center for
6 hours.
that night. 6 hours.
They used to tape legendarily long sessions, man, when they were taping television.
Yeah. So there's a Hogan 40 in this set.
And that's a WWF magazine photo shot.
Yeah.
Steve, you were at that card in 91?
Yes.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. Have you ever dug any of that up and watched any of the matches?
I have not.
And that's cool. We should see what matches were taped there.
Yeah, and that's why I bought that poster a few years ago at one of the cons down in Charlotte. You see it's sponsored by WKEE-FM 100.5. Follow the WWF on local TV. Watch WWF Superstars of Wrestling Saturdays at 5 p.m. on WVAH TV Channel 11. Wrestling Challenge Saturdays at 2. WWF Wrestling Spotlight Saturdays at 12:30 a.m.
Nice.
On WCHS TV8.
Wow, CHS, that's awesome. I got the card. I just dug it up. Guess what the opening match was?
What's that?
Sam Houston defeated Dustin Rhodes.
Wow.
In 91.
Wow.
He was only there for a blip at that time. Before the Natural. And before him and Steamboat teamed up in WCW, that was a blip in the map, man. And you were there for it.
Well, and I got to be honest with you. I thought with all of that stuff going on, that with guys like Kerry Von Erich, Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair, I thought WCW was going under in 1991.
Wow.
I really did for those reasons. I mean, there were legendary NWA guys who were going to the WWF.
Okay. You're absolutely right. And I'm sure as an NWA fan yourself, you were probably a bit disappointed with the outcome of all that stuff.
I mean, seeing guys like Dusty Rhodes and Ronnie Garvin, who's my favorite wrestler, end up in WWF, rugged Ronnie Garvin, and all of a sudden there's Dusty Rhodes in yellow polka dots. And, oh
my God, Steve, I just pulled up the card I was looking at was January. The one you were at was in October. Is that correct? The posters from October, right? You were there for a long time, man. There are so many matches on here. Yes. Primetime Wrestling for October 28th, October 14th, October 14th, October 14th, October 21st, November 4th. Primetime Wrestling, man, they taped a lot of stuff on here.
They sure did.
Wow.
and they would come out and they would do all the set changes and they would change the aprons.
Wow.
The turnbuckle stayed the same. It was just the blue with the WWF logo on it.
Yeah.
There he is.
I'm going to leave that card over by itself.
Sauce. That one over in the corner. lonely card over there in the corner.
Get him.
Bless his heart. I hope his health's doing better. Let's see what else we've got here, guys. We're just through just a few of these packs, but it's amazing. Some of these cards they're beautiful. They
right.
really are. Here's a Coco Beware.
Let's pull a sherry. Let's get a Queen Sherry going here.
Coco, Birdman.
Another model. Oof. The Trader.
Oh, this is his heel
Sergeant
period.
Slaughter.
Heel Slaughter. I wonder if he'd even sign that today. So remorseful.
I'm sure for the right amount of money, he'd sign this money.
Somebody's still in WrestleCade mode.
Right.
You go and watch that WrestleMania though, and you can feel the tension.
Definitely. Yeah. I started watching right after WrestleMania 91 because I remember them promoting the magazine with the results in it from 91. So
now this is interesting because this must have been later in 91. He's back to being Sergeant Slaughter.
Wow.
Same set, same pack.
Has he got Ronnie Garvin in a headlock right there?
Looks like it.
Hands of stone.
Yeah. First pro wrestler I ever watched.
There he is.
Ronnie Garvin. Now there's Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
He is yoked right there.
Yeah.
Jimmy is just absolutely steroids out of his neck. He's so jacked.
Boys. And, you know, Jimmy Snuka's hard for me to talk about because I was watching the MSG. You guys have heard me tell this story before. If USA Network in 82, 83 didn't have anything to show at night because cable didn't have a lot of programming then, they just pump in MSG Network.
Wow.
And you'd get some unplanned, unscheduled WWF wrestling. So I watched him after he lost to Morocco leap from the cage after the match onto Don Morocco. Jimmy Snuka, the best analogy that I can make is Bill Cosby, because Bill Cosby was my favorite comedian growing up. And then you hear all this stuff and, you know, it breaks your heart. For a lot of us of that age, man, Snuka was the guy in the mid 80s. He was more popular than Hogan. I'm telling you, I think that around 84, 85, Hogan was up there, but I mean, Snuka was just like, he was right there.
Well,
too.
And a lot of people forget that at ringside at WrestleMania 1, Snuka walked to the ring with Mr. T and Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
He was right there. Top, the top feud in the industry. He was right there. A lot of people forget that.
All right, guys. We found the Holy Grail.
Uh-oh. Oh, there he is.
Number one.
Look
So
at
go ahead and
that.
look that up for me.
Look at that. Number one. Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Let's see what kind of sales.
That's a magazine shot, isn't it, Matt?
Definitely.
Sure. Python Power, right?
Yeah.
Pretty sure that was also the posters that they put out.
Yeah, there's a full body. There's like a life size or whatever long poster of him in that pose of the whole body.
And I'm telling you, I'm just opening these blister packs now, so you know that that's what the back looks like.
And you could send off for a pretty cool binder, I think.
Yes.
Is probably what that offer is about.
Let's just send off for it. I want a new binder.
Went one of 500 World Wrestling Federation collector's kits.
According to this, that card you just opened, number one, Hulk Hogan, there's a pop 3 of PSA 10. That means there's only 3 10s out there in the world. So one is listed here for $250 or best offer. So let's see if any of those have
now there's 4.
sold recently.
Oh, if we need to get these graded for sure.
Yeah. And we got some of the good ones graded. There's a Piper, there's a Rockers. Here's some more studio shots of guys.
Trying to think who would be the best ones to grade. Definitely Hulk, definitely Texas Tornado. Probably anything with Shawn Michaels, I guess.
That Taker, yeah.
You know, ungraded, the card's like $2 or whatever, but I'm trying to find any grades that here's PSA 8. Somebody got a deal for about $10 for a PSA 8 on that. So $20 for a PSA 8. Oh, nice. Yeah. A Jake would probably grade pretty good. I mean, I feel like there's enough Jake collectors out there. If it would grade pretty good. The hard part about these is, and I was going to bring this up earlier, and I'm no expert or anything, but like the centering on these has got to be hard to judge because you've got that one short side on the I guess on the left of the card with the name in it and everything. And so those other three sides are really hard to gauge with the naked eye, so to speak. So
yeah.
Steve, have you seen the playing cards?
I have not.
Yeah, so that looks like the face of that shot, right? Is that what you think it is?
That's the face of it, but that's I mean, but they are becoming really collectible, and people are grading them and getting all kinds of money because actually so there's a 88 series and then a 90 series. The 88 series are all animated, and
it's like comic style drawings, right?
Yeah, you can kind of see them like that.
Dude, I got to get the Liz's.
We got to get those.
All right, doing another blister. There's Ultimate Warrior, Legion of Doom, Rockers, Perfect.
What would be Ultimate Warrior's rookie, Adam?
A lot of people say it's in the 89 version of the classics, you know, and that set is a little weird because there's some are 89 and some are 90. So everybody wants the 89 ones. The shots in these are great though. Every Ultimate Warrior in this set is really good. There's one where he's like pointing, you know, and you can see his finger, the outline of his finger just pointing.
I'll tell you what, Jimmy Snuka.
Great. Oh, nice.
Yeah, for those of you who didn't know, he wrestled with Ray Stevens and Jimmy Snuka were a great tag team in Mid-Atlantic.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Jimmy Snuka.
You mean the West Virginian Ray Stevens?
What's that?
Do you know that Ray Stevens was born in, what was it, Point Pleasant, West Virginia?
Point Pleasant.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's Matt Mullins for me. According to his Wikipedia, now some Mark from Point Pleasant might have gone in a long time ago.
Ray the Crippler Stevens. All right. I think we've seen this number 40.
Oh, nice. Yep, that's a good one. The full body pose.
There's General Adnan. All right.
What color would you use to describe Hulk Hogan? His skin. Yeah. Like, what color is that? What color? Is it a brown? Is it an orange?
I would say 7-Eleven hot dog.
Hot dog?
Yeah, 7-Eleven hot dog brown.
I was just going to say hot dog?
I would say, I would also accept Gilbert Prom 1989.
Did you tan for your prom, Steve?
I didn't. But all the girls at
all
Gilbert
the
High School.
Yeah, all the girls did, huh?
Yeah.
I would say the VHS tape stores that also had tanning beds would be that.
Yeah. The combination VHS rental / tanning bed places, otherwise known as the Movie Hut in Gilbert, West Virginia.
Nice, the Movie Hut.
In the 80s and 90s.
Sissy's tanning in MacArthur is what.
Ooh, good one.
Yeah. That's a number 30.
That should be the first one.
Is that what we figured out? Yeah, I think we did.
30's the first one, but there's a studio shot that looks better, I think. But I don't know if it matters.
Yeah, no, yeah, right. Well, that's true. That's true, man. Even like what I said is definitely
I'm
not
holding Undertaker's rookie card here, fellas.
Yep, that's it.
Who's he got there?
Wow.
Who's he got?
Some ham and egger. It's a ham and egger if I've ever seen one.
No, it's not a rookie. I know it's not one. But can you? Don't you just smile when you see?
I absolutely do.
Who's the best?
I guess so for the Undertaker, number 64 might be the one we were thinking of with the studio shot. And then
30 is the first one.
Yeah, 30 is the first one, and the studio shot is the one that people like a lot. And the one I think is cool is him jumping down from the top rope, doing what we would come to be known as old school. Well, this is when it was just school, ladies and gentlemen. Card number, I guess that was 88, is the one where he's coming down with old school.
Guys, I am loving this. These cards are gorgeous. There's another Warrior.
Oh, good one. Great
Beautiful
Warrior.
Studio shot.
That's another one I would consider. If it depends, if you were going to do a bulk submission, you could grade that one.
That also looks like the Hasbro.
It does. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. With the.
I wonder if that's the test shot or from the test shots.
Interesting question. Yeah, you're right. It could have been, because that figure wouldn't come out till another year or so later, right? Like their figures were definitely like a year or more behind.
Well, boys, one thing I can tell you as I open more of these blister packs, that Santa P. New may have some cards for my fellow House of Kayfabe residents.
We're all getting stacks of blue cards for Christmas. We're going to have a blue Christmas from Santa P. New.
Hey, that's exactly right. You already got an autographed Cesaro figure.
Damn right. It's sitting right here.
Was he not the nicest guy that you've ever met?
Man, I saw him interact with people of all ages at WrestleCade, and he was great with all of them.
And I've often thought that the Blue Meanie is about the nicest guy that I've ever met in the sport of professional wrestling.
He seems cool.
But Cesaro, by far and away, he took time. And you guys know the crunch that we were under, taking tickets in the line, and that kind of thing.
And one of the longest lines of the day.
Everybody feels special.
Yeah. For a guy that had the longest line of the day to make everybody feel special, it's one thing if you're only signing every 15 or 20 minutes, but if you have the longest line of the day and you spent time with every one of those people and made their day, that takes a special effort. And I saw it happen, dude. And I think we talked about it on one of the recaps, but I mean, Cesaro has to stand there with like a Starbucks sandwich, just kind of sitting over here and like take a bite whenever you can sneak one in.
Right. Yeah. He had egg bites.
Yeah, exactly.
Dustin had stopped on the way into town at a Starbucks because Cesaro was starving, and he got like an iced coffee and some egg bites, and he took a very quick break midday. There's another Hogan.
Oh, nice one. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. US of A, baby.
Interesting
to think too. I mean, patriotism was at a high at that point. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, nice. Of the salt. Wow, great action. Great action shot.
Right.
Hey, what's it say on the back of that one, Steve? Read the back of Mr. Fuji.
The back of Fuji's, translated from Japanese, can't be translated into English. No, I'm just favorite quote at Bonsai. Known for backstabbing.
Oh,
all right. Let's just be a little racist there.
That's sneaky. That sneaky Fuji.
But yeah, for those of you who didn't know what was going on in 1991, you should have been in the Army in August of 1990 when Desert Shield broke out. They froze us at Fort Bliss in El Paso, Texas. And so I got thrown out of my classes at Marshall.
What does that mean, Steve? Froze. Froze. What did it mean to be froze?
You couldn't, I was supposed to go home like August 10th. Desert Shield broke out August the 2nd or 3rd of 90. I was supposed to have gone home like a week later. They kept us there until like August 28th, 29th. Marshall's college had already started. I didn't get in my classes, my dorm, any of that. I ended up going to community college in Logan. I watched the 3rd Armored Cav Regiment leave. Their tanks got sprayed like in a day, tan, loaded up on a rail car and headed to the Pacific to be boated over to Saudi Arabia. But wow. Yeah, there was a 4-month run up from August of 90 to January of 91, and Desert Storm broke out, and the Americans left Saudi Arabia and went into Kuwait and promptly proceeded to kick the ever-living shit out of the Iraqi forces.
Wow.
So that's what was going on. And they started this angle in the WWF with Sergeant Slaughter coming out and saying that he didn't believe that our boys were as tough as they were back in his era, and Colonel Mustafa and General Adnan, they were a faction. And hell, the war didn't last. WrestleMania was in April of 91, and the war was over. The boys were already coming home.
That's
by
right.
the time
That's
that
right.
the WrestleMania angle, the angle lasted longer
Than the actual conflict.
than the combat.
Yeah.
Actually.
And again, this is the generational thing, Steve. It's kind of like you said, you were disturbed about the fact they sent Kerry Von Erich out there and called him the Texas Tornado. But as a young kid who had no real idea about the NWA or anything, I thought Texas Tornado was awesome.
Sure.
And in 91,
probably a Red Rooster fan too.
I don't know about that. That was a little earlier. I don't know about that, but and then at this time, what was that?
I said I was really into the up and comer called Gobbledygooker.
There you go. Who would premiere at Survivor Series.
But yeah, that was a hot angle. And it's like, and we were talking about building the set and like, why would they put General Adnan and Colonel Mustafa in there? Well, they were in the top angle, one of the hottest angles of all time, really, when these cards were being developed. So
yeah, and it ended up playing out like a redemption angle, like that Hulk Hogan saved Sergeant Slaughter, and America decisively winning. Desert
and then
Storm and liberating Kuwait.
It's an interesting also, and for fans that weren't around for this either, after that match at WrestleMania 7, Slaughter found Hogan backstage and threw a fireball in his face.
Yeah.
And so the feud went on all the way to SummerSlam. Mm-hmm. And so we're talking about from April until August, they built to the match made in heaven and the match made in hell. And of course, the match made in heaven was Randy and Liz getting hitched. And the match made in hell was Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior against all three, Colonel Mustafa, General Adnan, and Sergeant Slaughter, the match made in hell. And also famously, you know what night that was, right, Matt? The Ultimate Warrior held Vince McMahon up for more money.
Yep.
Didn't want to go out, wrestled the match, and then was promptly fired. But I couldn't wait to fire him.
As a young fan, I remember thinking that Colonel Mustafa and General Adnan were new, or like we're not. I mean, I was completely bought into it, so I thought that they had came over and were not wrestlers even. But then now looking at it, is Vince really trusted Sheik and Adnan because they were legendary wrestlers for that.
That's right.
That top angle. And when you think of it like that, it's pretty awesome that they came to the WWF and were in that top spot.
He trusted them with the golden goose.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and obviously both those guys, I mean, part of me was conflicted at the time because I was a little mad that you changed the name of the guy who had just been your world champ a few years before with Colonel Mustafa. But now I get it. You've got to give him some military rank. The other funny thing for those of you, if you guys didn't know, before I went to law school, I majored in political science at Marshall. I've always been interested in politics, both international, national, local, state. And the funny thing was,
wrestling.
Adnan is billed from Baghdad, Iraq. Colonel Mustafa is built from Tehran, Iran. They had just been in a 10-year-long war.
That's right.
Iran and Iraq. And the funny thing was, in the 80s, we backed Iraq because we hated Iran, who the United States defeated in soccer today. USA. But the funny thing was, there they were, apparently to go along with Steve Barker's angle that Hulk Hogan really is the heel in all of this. The only man who could unite Iran and Iraq, who'd fought a decade-long war, would be Hulk Hogan.
No doubt. Yeah, no doubt.
They could put their hatred aside long enough.
Well, we've been going almost about
take on
45
that,
minutes here. And so I wanted to say we should have thought about this, but Steve, I didn't even think about the time period of these cards over. There it is. That's one of the shots I was looking for. Yeah, that's a great one.
I have
The
that.
overlap of this time period with your service, man. I mean, there's a lot of continuity here or kismet between what was going on in the professional wrestling world and in what was going on in Stephen P. News world at that time.
Yeah, and so, just a few months later, I'd be a sophomore at Marshall, and I'd be living in Huntington and able to go to great shows.
Going to house shows.
This WWF house show. And, it's funny. If anybody wants any, want to know why I love pro wrestling so much, guys, I mean, this isn't just a hobby for me, like my fellow guys here on the House of Cave. I love it. Mm-hmm. I watched that man right there in August of 1981. One Man Gang Ronnie Garvin was the first pro wrestler I ever watched. And I've loved it ever since.
There
Eat your heart out, Adam Harris.
Did you save it towards the end just for me?
No,
you held it back, didn't you? You're like, I'm going to save this.
I did not hold it back. I just happened to open this other blister pack.
Classic cat makeup for Adam.
Oh, there it is. There we go.
There it is.
That's a nice
boy.
one.
This has been a great pack here, just for the Sherry and the Taker studio.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, sometimes they seem loaded. You might have a card with not much in it, and then you get one pack that's got a ton of great stuff in it.
Yeah. I mean, there's another 35.
Yep.
Hulk Hogan. So, I mean, that pack is great. Wow.
I want to go back sometimes, Steve, and let's take this moment to remind everybody, like and subscribe. Thanks for checking us out here on the House of Kayfabe. I want to run down this 1991 card you were at in Huntington, West Virginia, and we're going to see what memories you have and talk more about 1991, because I'm all about 1991. That's what the year I started watching wrestling. You talk about finding that passion, man. I started watching wrestling in 1991, and I know that because it was when Earthquake squashed the Snake, and that was a hot angle at that time. WrestleMania, and they were building up to The Undertaker. Nice. There he was. And The Undertaker fought Hulk Hogan that year at Survivor Series. And that was the gravest challenge. Ric Flair came out. This was a hot time in wrestling.
Champion.
Yeah, the real world's champion for sure. Roddy Piper was in WWF on commentary. Macho Man was on commentary. We were trying to get him reinstated. And friggin' Stephen P. New was there to see Piper versus Flair in Huntington, West Virginia. So I think we need to make time to just run down that card sometime, and maybe we'll do a deep dive on 91.
And I need to get on YouTube and look and try to find some of those matches, which would have been recorded in Huntington in October of 91, because it was a great card. The Civic Center was packed. Man, it was just, they were hanging from the rafters. And I remember the one thing that I remember was watching J.J. Dillon come out as a producer with his arms crossed, just watching the matches.
Interesting.
And I thought, J.J. had a behind the scenes job. J.J. didn't have an on-screen role. And I'm like, whew, is he really here with Flair? I mean, are they bringing the Four Horsemen? Are they going to do I didn't think invasion angle, but I was like, man, there's JJ and Ric Flair's here, and the Brainbusters. Are they going to, you get either Barry Windham or Lex Luger up here, and you got the Horsemen coming to the WWF.
Wow. And you probably weren't the only one thinking that, for sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, all right, guys, before we sign off, I want to show off one of my prize collections. Also for the viewers, there will be for sale. You can contact me on Twitter at Stephen P. New, Steve at newlawoffice.com. I have an unopened case of these if you are interested.
Yes.
Like everything, price is always negotiable.
Well, and how much to add the Stephen P. New signature to the box too? Be sure to ask about that. I'm sure he'd personalize that one for you. Maybe an inscription.
That will surely devalue your investment by a factor of 3. But I have in my possession the Wonderama collection of 343 cards in an uncut sheet.
Man, that's so badass.
And you can see right here, that is Lex Luger's rookie.
Love it.
Card number, Series 1, card number 212.
Man, love those cards. Even though
I love these cards too. I have no idea.
Not as consistent as the 91 set, but there's also twice as many of them, I think.
Wow. I have no idea what these cards go for.
Well,
an uncut sheet.
Sting in there. Look at that, Ronnie Garvin. Damn.
You just don't see him. You just don't see him that often. And
Robert Gibson.
Yep. There's some good rock and roll in this. There's some good Freebirds.
There's some shitty shots in there too, but man, those cards kick ass.
There's a couple really great Ricky and Robert Gibsons in there.
Cat LaRue and Linda
Cat
Dallas.
LaRue. Yep. These cards are legendary. To me, kind of trend setting. I don't know if that's right or not, but like, they worked everybody in. I think they just like, how many photos do we have? We have 350 photos. All right. We're going to have 350 cards in this set.
Hey, Adam, look this up.
There's the Sting
number 17 there.
Yeah, that's the one, man. I think that's the one you want.
Man, that's awesome. Look, and I love that Sting's in a figure 4 or right above his rookie card.
Yeah.
That's badass. Look at Dusty. Bobby Eaton. Road Warriors. Now those cards came in a clear plastic cellophane, and they were mail away only, right?
I don't know. I think there's some sort of hanger pack-ish type things, although I may be wrong about that. I think there were some like retail versions.
Yeah, there are some, and they come in like 3 trifolds.
That Sting card, Steve, is that's the lowest numbered one, card number 17 in the set. So I would have to think that's got to be widely considered.
That's considered his rookie.
Yeah. So raw, ungraded, there's a sale of $40. There's a sale of $20 on that one. So that's a sought after raw card. Card number 9, though, has Sting in it, but it's actually a Barry Windham card. So that's another one that people often look for actually. And that's the other thing, is that some of these just have multiple personalities in them. And then here's another one, number 41. What number? Oh, number 9, and then number 41 is Sting, but it's actually a Eddie Gilbert and Sting card. So,
all right, ladies and gentlemen,
really
right
cool.
there, if I'm aiming it right.
Yep, there's the one with Barry and Sting. Yep, there it is.
That's the number 9 card right there.
One of my favorite Bobby Eatons to the right there too.
I see that Sting and Barry Windham go. It's for sale for $400.
Woo! Graded?
No.
All right, now look there. That's the number 1 card in the set right there.
Is Ric Flair?
Yep.
Nice. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize he was
height
one. I guess
6'1", weight 241. Charlotte. Number of years in pro wrestling 14.
Oh, the back of these are great.
Yeah.
The back of these are great.
Rhodes, titles held, NWA World Champion, all NWA titles.
Does it have his favorite fruit on there or favorite dessert maybe?
Favorite old-time wrestler Vern Gagne. Amateur wrestling experience 6 years. Favorite pro sports team, LA Lakers. Favorite college team, North Carolina.
The winningest.
Favorite vacation spot, Honolulu. Favorite food, Italian. Favorite color, blue. Favorite song, Great Balls of Fire. That's where he got the woo from. It was Great Balls
Jerry
of
Lee
Fire
Lewis,
by
right?
Jerry Lee Lewis. Favorite movie, Top Gun. And you could tell because right then his favorite actress was Kelly McGillis. So you could tell that question was probably posed in the summer of 1986 when the original Top Gun came out. But anyway, I have no idea where to start with the uncut sheets of the Wonderama cards, but I do love owning them.
Yeah.
They are my prized possession.
They're one of a
wrestling
kind,
cards.
man. They really are. Well, maybe not one because there's a
I
few
don't
out
even
there,
know that I
but
could part with them, but
they're so cool.
yeah.
They're so cool.
I'm going to get some of these classic WWF cards, some of the OPG cards, and some others graded by PSA.
And maybe we'll follow along here on the House of Kayfabe. That'd be cool, right?
Yeah, we'll see what some of these cards that we've opened up tonight come back at, folks.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Take us home, Matt.
Well, hey, guys, for Adam Harris, for Stephen P. New, I'm Matt Mullins. Thanks for listening to our Collector's Corner here at the House of Kayfabe.